Hello everybody, it's me, the Real Local Maniac. I'm back again with another Xbox 360 game review. Today I'll be playing a Final Fight Double Impact. Now, with a title like Double Impact, it does sound like some dodgy porn, but I assure you it's not. It's actually the classic side-scrolling beat-em-up by Capcom. And I'll tell you what, I love this game. I wouldn't say it's my favourite arcade game ever, Final Fight, but it probably ranks in there in the top 10. I think Double Dragon's slightly above that. Recently, with the 1HMPS community, we were talking about that. But anyway, to the game. Now, I'm playing this on the Xbox 360. I bought this from Xbox Marketplace for about 800 Microsoft points, I believe, and that works out to be about £10. I also believe this game is out on the PlayStation 3. I've yet to play that version, but I'm sure it plays pretty much exactly the same. Now, Final Fight is probably one of my favourite games ever, like I mentioned. Now, what drew me to this game originally was, back in the good old days, was I hadn't seen graphics quite like that. Most of the scrolling beat 'em ups at the time had sort of like small cartoony style graphics, and this completely wowed me because the graphics were really big and very, very chunky, and the storyline was pretty good as well. I like the whole idea that you play this big muscly mayor and your daughter gets kidnapped, and as with all these side-scrolling beat 'em ups, you basically walk from left to right and you beat the living shit out of everyone. And the character sprites were all very interesting and really stood out for me. So yeah, that's why I love this game. Now, Final Fight has come out on pretty much every computer known to mankind. If you haven't seen my 8-bit wars on Final Fight, please check that out. That's probably one of my original 8-bit wars that was on my old channel, and thanks to Metsukola, who basically sent me the video, and I've uploaded that a few months ago, so check that out. And that features the Spectrum version, the Commodore, and the Amstrad, and of course the original arcade version. Now, Final Fight also came out like on the Amiga. I remember playing that at a friend's house, and I thought it looked like a pretty decent conversion. Now, what was the other version I played? Oh yeah, let's not forget about the Super Nintendo version, guys. The Super Nintendo version was a decent conversion. It looked pretty good, but it lacked many things that made the arcade game, fantastic. Like, first of all, it lacked a two-player sort of option, so it was only a one-player scroll and beat 'em up. It also lacked one of the characters as well, and I also believe it was missing a level as well. Now, another version did appear slightly later, which was that featured Guy, or was it Cody? I'm not sure in which order it was. Another good version of Final Fight that came out was Final Fight on the Mega CD, which at the time was probably the greatest arcade conversion that you could get. If you wanted to play in your own home Final Fight, that was the closest you can get to it. Now, I'm not saying that was a bad game. At the time, it was good. But if you look at it nowadays, the graphics are a little bit grainy. But I do think that was to do with the whole Mega CD sort of color scheme and so on. If anything, that did add to the games. I think that added like an extra level to it as well. You can also play, Final Fight on the PS2. It appeared in the Capcom collections. But guys, this is to me like probably the best version. And if you've got yourself an Xbox 360 or if you've got yourself a PS3, download it. You can't go wrong because basically there's two different ways of playing the game. You've got your standard arcade version, which looks and sounds like the arcade version, and then you've got the version I'm playing now, which is a slightly graphically retouched version, where it just looks a little bit meatier. The music's a lot better as well. Now, graphically, I don't know if it's going to showcase very well in this video, because again, I'm using a very primitive form of recording the footage. Just point the camera towards the TV screen, and that's it pretty much. Like I said in my previous Xbox videos, at some point I will get myself a capture card so I can record, just to show you how good the quality of these games can be like. But yeah, today it's a great day for me as well, because normally a lot of the time when I do these video games, I'm playing by myself. But luckily and thankfully enough, I'm joined by none other than the YouTube music legend, which is Ototo72. I hope I got your name right there, buddy. So for the rest of the review, I'll be calling him 072, just in case so I don't mess it up. Yeah, so 072 is that character there, which is Guy, I believe, and I'm playing Mike Hager. So it feels nice to play this game online, and that is why what I think makes this Xbox 360 version special. You and your buddy, you can be in completely different places or even around the world, and you can play online. And that's the best thing about scrolling beat 'em ups. You need to play with someone. If you play it single player, it doesn't quite work, you know. So luckily, recently I've played this game with a few of the members of the 1HMPS community, and we've had a great time doing that. And we've talked about games, we've talked about how this game compares to Double Dragon and so on. But yeah, it is a great, fantastic way, and a big thanks to Ototo72 for being on this video. Now, originally I did want his voice to come out the TV screen, and I was just going to talk over it, and that way we could just do that. But unfortunately, for some reason, I couldn't do it. So, but big thanks out to 072 for doing this. You know, you've been so helpful, dude. And if you guys haven't checked out his channel, why haven't you? He's got like some of the most amazing videos out there. Basically, on his Ototo72, he's got loads of classic gaming music ranging from Spectrum and loads of other things as well. And he's got loads. I believe he's got, I think, nearly a couple of thousand videos, which is unbelievable, I find. Wow. So yeah, check out his channel. Now, this is a great beat 'em up. Now, I remember reading somewhere, I think it's probably Retro Gamer, that Final Fight originally was meant to have been conceived as a Street Fighter sequel. Now, I'm kind of glad it didn't turn out that way, because as we all know, Street Fighter 2 turned out to be an amazing game. Probably one of my favourite games ever, so yeah, I'm kind of glad it turned out that way in the end. Now, Final Fight did get a few sequels actually on the good old Super Nintendo. There's Final Fight 2 and Final Fight 3. I remember I had Final Fight 2 at the time, and if anything, I was pretty happy with it. Main reason being was that you did get a few of the Street Fighter 2 characters appearing in the background, and most of all, it was actually a two-player sort of like scrolling beat 'em up, unlike the first one. Now, one of the other things that I like about Final Fight is that there's loads of characters that you'll see here that will also appear in Street Fighter games, like in the Street Fighter Alpha series, which I love. Like this character here, he appears in that as well. So let's quickly go more about the Xbox 360 version. So I've mentioned that the fact that you can change the option, whether it's just like the classic look or the new look. The new look isn't drastically different, which is pretty good. But there's also a hidden game. I wouldn't say it's a hidden game. Once you finish this game, you've got another game as well, which I'm not going to tell you what it is, mainly for the fact that I forgot what game it is. But yeah, once you finish Final Fight, you've got another game to unlock, and you play that, and you can get some achievements. And that's one thing I like about the 360 version is you not only can you just finish the game, but you've got your typical achievements, and that's what I love about the 360. Now, I think there's an achievement is you've got to try and finish the game with using less than 18 continues, and I tell you what, I've still not been able to do that yet. Round 2. Alright, I love this bit of the game. Time to smash up this guy's car. And I think that's one of the things that did sort of like appear in Street Fighter 2, like the bonus rounds. And that's one of the things that I think was sadly lacking in some of the other Street Fighter 2 games. I believe in the latest one, some of the bonus rounds are going to make an appearance. I've yet to play the latest Street Fighter 4 game. Alright guys, I'm going to sort of enjoy drinking this last bit of coffee I've got, and let you just... Oh, this bit's hilarious. The poor little fella just comes in and goes, "Oh shit, my fucking car." Oh. Alright guys, I'm the Real Local Maniac. I shall see you next time.